Hi, I'm Whitney Scala, and you're watching Law Simplified, legal education for the non-lawyer. Two quick things. First, this is legal education, not legal advice. And second of all, we're trying to keep this short, so it's possible we're going to overlook something important. We apologize for that. We hope you get a lot out of this. Thanks so much for watching. To have a successful sale, sellers need to start strong and send a message that they're sophisticated, prepared, and professional. We'll discuss some essential steps. Buyers need to confirm that they have the authority to sell. That might sound obvious, but there's still some pitfalls. A joint tenant cannot sell the property. They don't have that authority. Similarly, a tenant in common lacks the authority to sell the property. They can only sell their interest. If an entity is the seller, read its documents carefully. Often a general partner or a limited liability company manager may have what appears to be unfettered authority, but they may need approval of the other investors if the property sale amounts to a sale of all of the entity's assets. A trustee or administrator of an estate might need authority from the heirs or beneficiaries. Ask an attorney if you can get the authority up front to sell within a certain price range, rather than risk delaying the deal later to consult with the heirs. Loan documents should also be reviewed. With so many loans at low interest rates, buyers might ask if an existing loan can be assumed. A smart seller is ready with an answer. If the existing loan is going to be paid off, the seller should check for prepayment penalties. These penalties typically decline over the years, and a seller should calculate whether perhaps paying the penalty is worth it when an offer seems particularly attractive. Some loans contain what's called a yield maintenance formula. The loan can be prepaid if payments are made to ensure the lender receives the loan yield for the intended life of the loan. Ask for help from your accountant to calculate your possible liability. Rights of first refusal involve a lot of fine print. Do you need to notify the holder of the right when you agree to a letter of intent? Or can you wait until you finalize a purchase and sale agreement? That answer might depend on whether your LOI is binding. Be sure you know your time frames too. You need to tell your buyer how long you're going to have to wait for an answer on the first refusal right. Rights of first offer are a little easier to work with one exception. That exception is when your plans change. If you reduce your price after you've run your listing past the holder of the first offer right, you might have to go back and run that new price past them. Don't be sloppy or tricky about this. If you're going to list a property, but you're willing to take less, consider submitting that lower price to the first offer holder so you won't have to retrace your steps later. Finally, a commercial real property seller will have to disclose their operating and due diligence files to a buyer, so it's best to assemble those files in advance. Disclosure commonly includes profit and loss statements, operating and maintenance records, and all those reports and surveys that are buried in old boxes. Sellers need a paper trail of what they've disclosed, so many sellers are starting to post their materials in a secured place in the cloud. Sellers should also be ready with a non-disclosure agreement that requires the buyer to keep all the property information confidential. There are two key provisions for a seller: a disclaimer as to the accuracy of the documents being handed over, and a disclaimer as to the completeness of those documents. Strong preparation by a seller will make buyers confident that they're dealing with a knowledgeable and serious seller. Do yourself a favor, avoid early setbacks with a little effort up front. Good luck on a successful transaction.